Well, hello everybody, it's me, Jeff. Today, I'm doing a drawing of Pagliacci, Pavarotti. I forgot how to pronounce it. I apologize to everybody who is Italian. But it's the famous opera singing clown. Many of you cultured individuals will know the clown from the opera of the same name. I'm not as cultured as you, probably, because my only real exposure to this clown is from an episode of Seinfeld where Crazy Joe Davola dresses up like Pagliacci and scares Kramer. And so that's where I know it from. So you might be asking, Jeff, why are you drawing this character? Well, like in a couple of my previous videos, this was a Sketch Daily's topic, and I originally didn't really plan on doing it, but because I didn't have time that day. I think that was the reason for it. I was busy working on some commissions, and I did a little sketch in my sketchbook, and it was just a little quick one with a couple of markers and of him, just a close-up of his face, like a portrait, with a voice bubble with a little music symbol. And I liked the sketch, and I thought, you know what, I should draw that and I should put it on a phone case. And so I did. That was my inspiration for it. And I want to talk a little bit about making money with art and putting things on phone cases and whatnot. I have a habit of I don't sketch a lot, in the sense that I don't, like a lot of artists I see, they do like finished, completed pieces of illustrations in their sketchbooks, and it's very difficult for me to do that. And I know sometimes that's like a good way to work out whatever issues you have and ways you need to improve and stuff, but I do a lot of doodling, and I never do everything's really rough and loose in my sketchbook because I have this habit, I guess, of like wanting my artwork, whatever pieces of art I do, to have a purpose and to be seen by like the public, or to I want to make money off of it somehow. And that's something I try to think about with everything I'm doing is, I like, it's not like I'm trying to be like a total sellout of some kind, but the thing is when you're, a freelancer like me who's kind of like, I'm trying to build my business up right now, and it's like there isn't always a ton of money coming in from clients or whatever, and really the ultimate dream is to be able to do exactly what I want and to make money off of it. And one of the ways to do that would be to draw illustrations and sketches and whatnot and sell them on a variety of products. And so I'm always thinking about that when I'm in between freelance gigs and stuff. I'm thinking about, what can I do for a phone case, or what can I do for a t-shirt? And this was one of them. It was kind of like I thought it was a good design for a phone case because his face could be positioned at the bottom of the case with the voice bubble above his head, and there would be space for the hole in the case where the camera is and stuff like that. And so I did it. And this isn't like a business where I buy phone cases and print them myself. I usually use print-on-demand websites, which I recommend if you're an artist and you're trying to make money with your art. Do that. Put any kind of artwork you have, any kind of illustrations you have laying around, throw them onto redbubble.com or zazzle.com. I think there's like Society 6 is another one. I use Redbubble and Zazzle. Zazzle was what I started with because they have like a ton of different kinds of products and stuff like that that you can put your artwork on. And it's really exciting and kind of fun to think about what you can do, and it costs no money to you, um, because it's print on demand. So you upload your artwork, and they have a template for you to position your artwork onto there a certain way and stuff, and then you mark it up a small percentage above the cost, or not the cost of the item, but the retail price, because Zazzle or Redbubble, all of them, they're selling it at a retail price to customers, and then you're adding a little extra royalty. It's not like you're not going to make a ton of money off of it unless you have like a ton of fans that are willing to go in there and buy stuff, but it's a good way to make a few bucks on the side. And you know, even if you don't really make a lot, because I mean there's months where I don't bring in a lot of money from it, but it's something to do, to have. It's an additional thing. You have a store where you can point people to say, hey, buy my stuff. It's just your time investment of uploading this artwork and writing the descriptions and stuff. And then you have a store where you have merchandise until you can, build your business up to where you could switch over to like an Etsy where you make your own merchandise and stuff. So, that's something I do all the time, and I'm always thinking about, how can I make money with this? Because that's the thing. It's, if I could sit at home and just draw and work on art and produce and do creative things for free and be able to live that way, then I would. But I would, I don't want to have to go out and get a day job and work long hours somewhere where I don't feel fulfilled. I want to be able to do art, feel fulfilled. So the way to do that is to make money with art, and this is definitely a good way to do it. But it's probably a flaw to some extent, because I have such a hard time, like I was saying, sketching and doing those things that don't have that purpose or aren't going to go on to a product or something. But it's a flaw, but also maybe good, because then I spend time where it kind of matters. But sometimes I envy people who do these elaborate, beautiful sketches in their sketchbook, and they're able to work out, sort of like how to do a certain thing, or to improve their skills in areas that, I might not be able to do because I'm not drawing those things, because they're not going to fit on that phone case or whatever. But anyway, this particular drawing, something that's really great about Zazzle, the one that I use, is you can upload vector graphic images. This particular one I did in Manga Studio, because I really like Manga Studio, and I wanted to add, you'll see at the end, I wanted to add like a paper texture to the background and kind of do some unique things like that, which you can do in Illustrator, but you can like blend things and stuff a little better. I'm sure I've discussed that in previous videos. But Zazzle allows vector graphics. They allow non-vector, and you can also layer your images. So like with this particular one, the cool thing is like when you go on Zazzle, they have options for multiple different phone cases, like styles and stuff. And so the iPhone versus a Samsung or whatever other brand, they all have like the different little holes in the back for the camera and in the flashlight or the flash and stuff like that. And so sometimes your artwork will overlap into that, and I've had difficulty with that before with some of my illustrations, where I had to try to make that work, and sometimes it would like overlap onto a part of the artwork that I didn't necessarily want it to, and so I couldn't use that. I couldn't sell that particular style of phone case in my store. But for this one, what I did was I saved the background image, the clown, and I think I saved the clown with the background because there's some blending I did there. And then I saved that little voice bubble with the music symbol, which is another thing you'll see at the end of the video. I saved those as separate images. So when I uploaded them to the template on Zazzle, I could move that voice bubble around. So like if it ran into where the phone, the hole for the in the case for the camera lens, I could move it around and sort of like position it to where it wasn't anywhere near that, or so each one was a little bit unique and a little different, and I like that customization on it. I also use Redbubble as another website that I use, and it's just like an additional thing. That's one thing that another suggestion I would make to people doing that is use more than one website. If I could, I would have like every website that allows you to sell your art on stuff. I would have my art on there, but it can be too much. That would be too much. It can be a lot of work, and so I have the two. I have Redbubble also, and the downside to that is they don't have a system where you can like layer multiple pictures on one thing to sort of create an image. So you have to kind of figure that out beforehand and upload it. And you can upload, several different images, but you have to save them all on your computer with that composition and then go in and so I'd have to move that bubble around and have like 10 different images, or however many, 5 or 10, whatever it works out to be, for each different case. So that's like a downside to it. Something I do like about Redbubble is they have some products that Zazzle doesn't have, like the full bleed printed bags, where I love doing stuff like that where it goes all the way to the edge, and to me it looks a little more like something that you would see in the store, because sometimes with these print on demand sites you don't really have that freedom. So like if you were to, like with t-shirts for example, if you were to want to print on the side of a t-shirt or at the bottom or something like that, you can do that with screen printing. If you're you can tell them where to print, but when you're doing the print on demand, they have a specific setup and it's made for efficiency and stuff, so you just kind of had the center of the front of the t-shirt, the back of the t-shirt, to put your image on, and you can't really, you can move around within that sort of 12 by 14 space, but you couldn't print like all the way to the bottom or on the sleeve or something like that. So that's some of the downsides to it, but it's a store that you can have up, and it's always there. People can always go there and buy something from you, and these websites, they do a great job. I mean, the print quality for most of the stuff I've gotten has been really, really great. But anyway, this has turned into a review of Redbubble and Zazzle, I guess. But mainly I was talking about making money on the side with art by selling merchandise that has your artwork on it. I'm sure there's people that don't like doing that sort of thing, and they feel like it's selling out or something like that, or it doesn't fit within their sort of philosophies and stuff. But if you're going to be freelancing or trying to make, if you want to draw all the time, if you want to be creative all the time, you have to think about that stuff. You kind of have to. I mean, this is we're living in the 21st century in 2015. You can't really just paint and sell original artwork. I mean, you can, but it's definitely a struggle. I mean, that's where the term starving artist came from. And sometimes I feel like artwork, especially digital illustration and stuff, like I do, it's not, people really enjoy it, and it's probably regarded a little more highly now by the millennials and the internet community like myself. But it's not, there's so much of it, it's everywhere, and so it's a competitive environment, and so you really have to do everything you can to try and make it work. And doing the store and these, it's not that complicated, and and I'm always trying to think of something to put on there, and try to advertise on my Facebook or my Twitter, and I try not to bombard people with it too much, but it's just the way to do it. But yeah, so make some money. So when I was first starting out with sort of trying to make money as an artist and stuff, I was working full time, and I was also just really working hard to try to do this stuff on the side and find ways to make it a career. I don't remember where I heard about these places before. I don't know. It might have been like an artist or an article I read where they suggested to do that. And I did my research trying to figure out what was the best print-on-demand retailer. And I landed on Zazzle. I kind of decided that had the best reviews as far as like the products and the service. And I mean, it's changed. There's a lot more now, and a lot more competition with them. I'm sure there's some really great ones. But they were the first one I went with, and I started putting my artwork up. And I started with t-shirts because the thing was I wanted to design t-shirts and stuff like that. I always had all ideas for that, and I was working with my friend for a while. He was doing screen printing, and we were coming up with t-shirt designs, and he would sell some on eBay, and then also we started putting them into local shops and stuff with like a kind of a consignment type deal. And I really enjoyed doing that, so I wanted to come up with a way where I could do t-shirts, and it wouldn't cost me a ton of money. I love the idea that I could just put my artwork on there and sell them and be done with it. And the thing was, when you first start out with these print-on-demand websites, there's a lot, because anybody can go on there and put their artwork up there. And so the trick is to try to get it to show up in a search and sort of filter through all the junk that may exist there. That's kind of a challenge. And the trick is they offer a lot of different products. You can't just focus on one thing. I usually try to upload a design. If I have a design that will work on multiple different types of products, like it can work on a t-shirt or a mug or a phone case, sometimes they have, you can do a shower curtain or something odd like that. I'll try to put it on as much stuff as possible, because there could be a customer that sees the design on a t-shirt, but they don't like to wear graphic tees, but they would definitely like to get it on a mug, so you have those options available, and it'll surprise you sometimes because, I had to start doing that. My girlfriend Becky, she was the one that kind of pushed me to do that. Because for a long time I just had, I have a t-shirt and a mug of this one design, and she was like, just put it on everything, and I didn't want to put it on everything because it needs to fit. I like it to look like it's supposed to go on that. I don't want to just slap something on there. I think that's cheap. But I go through, they have tools on these websites. Redbubble, you just automatically uploads to everything, and then you can kind of say what you don't want it on and what you do want it on. And with Zazzle, they have like a quick create feature where you can add it to a lot of different stuff all at once, and customize it as you go. And that I think has really helped. It helped bring traffic to my store, and it's still something that I'm experimenting with. I do freelance also, and I work on a few other projects here and there, so I don't have a lot of time to really focus on it and see what's working and not working. But, as the years go by, it's I have products on there that have gotten a little more popular. Right now it's the holiday time, and, it's, I always sell my ugly Christmas sweaters on there and stuff, and those do really well around the holiday season. But that's it anyway. This video is going to end soon. So thanks for listening to me babble on about all this stuff. I'm going to put a link to my store in the description since I spoke about it, and I hope you guys will go check it out and maybe buy something. And you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at MilkmanJeff. Check me out on Facebook, Jeff Moore and Art, Tumblr, all that stuff. I'll post a link to this finished illustration as usual, and I'm definitely going to post a link to the phone case. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.